If you've been following my social media, you know I posted a video not too long ago of my wife's brand new 2021 Genesis G70 3.3T all-wheel drive luxury sports sedan. Now, this is not a car review. There are plenty of those online for you to watch. But I thought it would be fun to share a glimpse into her buying journey and hear what she has to say about the Genesis after 3 weeks of ownership. Shout out to Brian, Arandre, and Shane at Genesis of Bowie for a great buying experience. And you got a blue one next to it to kind of sort of compare. That's not the Sport though.
I know. The red with the black patches is really nice.
Yep.
I don't think I want
Another red car.
I have to have you pull your car around here and see what it looks like next to it. Looks good though.
Yeah.
With the black patches. He come out, she's still in there.
I don't know.
I don't see him.
All right, keys in hand. Time for a test drive. Ooh, GTO. Holden. Whose GTO is that? Who do we know as a GTO?
I wonder if anybody ever crashes the car when they first get out.
Yeah, I have seen videos.
Oh my god, that's awful.
There we go, Sport.
Oh, I felt that difference. Oh, the seats changed too.
Yeah, it hugs you. Yeah,
Yes.
to keep you in more.
It's a little rougher too.
Yeah, I noticed the suspension changed a little bit, it tightened a bit.
I felt it. I felt a little surge too.
Yeah. So far, pretty nice car.
So this has to be power too, steering wheel.
Yeah, it's on your left.
Okay.
The test drive went pretty well. Now it's just time to think about what she wants to do next. Not to mention the color choices. By the way, when we were there, we saw the dealership take delivery of a brand new 2021 GV80 SUV. It's the first one they got on that lot that day. It is absolutely beautiful. I've seen reviews on this car and it is absolutely amazing. I think the GV80 and the upcoming GV70 SUV will make or break the Genesis brand. But let's get back to Denise. I think she made a decision. Is Denise getting the overview of the car? And there it is. Next to my red SS is her Mallorca blue G70 3.3T all-wheel drive. It's the sport package, fully loaded, with every bell and whistle you can think of you can get in this car. So what does Denise think after 3 weeks of ownership? Let's find out. So what other cars were you shopping for before you chose this one?
Looked at the R5.
The S5, you mean?
Excuse me. The S5. Are you going to cut that? Please tell me you are. I looked at the S5. Nice car. Definitely liked it. You know, it was a 2021. It had the new Audi infotainment that wasn't just like an iPad sitting on the dash, which I don't like. Also looked at an RS3, a very nice RS3 in Tyson's Corner. Was very, very much, did like that car.
Yeah, but that RS3 was so cool. That green color.
It was cool. And I'm not going to lie, I was very enamored with it. But this is the deal with that car. So I came from having a 2014 GTI, no power, really anything inside the car. I had to pump my seats. And while that didn't bother me in that car, you know, and I thought, oh, well, I just won't really be that bothered by it in the RS3. I kind of was, you know, the more I thought about it, I'm like, I'm paying a lot more for this car than I did, you know, my GTI, and, you know, I'm going to be pumping my seats and adjusting it with the front and everything. You know, some of the videos we were seeing out of Europe on like the A3s, and, you know, they had power seats, and those weren't here yet, and it had that laptop that I don't like that just sits up on your iPad that just sits up on your dash and pops up.
Yeah, and the RS3 it like really sticks out on the dash.
And you know, I definitely knew I didn't like that. And so while this car does have an infotainment screen that does stick up on the dash a little bit, it's a little bit more integrated to lower on the dash. I knew that I was going to get a lot more with this car, a lot of value with this car, and I did. And it it's just, I've never really had a car that has this much stuff in it to do. And so while that's wonderful and I think the value is great, it's going to take me some time to figure out just every bell and whistle in this car, and that's one of the cons, but that's not really a con. It's just more coming from my old car to this car, what I'll have to get used to.
You mentioned the luxury. What is interesting is there's not a ton of cheap plastic gloss black pieces anywhere you touch, which is really nice, because that's one of the things I look for is, how much, scratchy, cheesy plastics are there. I mean, even this A-pillar is covered in Alcantara, and the headliner is really nice, and it's all soft touch material on the dash. Everywhere you look, there's some alloys, some metals, whether it's real or not, I don't know, but it looks nice.
This is the fastest car I've ever owned, and it's nice and it's smooth, and I like that it goes fast. I've actually had a few cars try to race me, which I'm not used to. So, I had a Golf R buzz by me on Route 4 the other day, and so I had to kind of catch up with them. Definitely like that it's fast. Probably get that from having the SS, although the SS is a little rougher, a little grumblier, as I like to call it. It shakes more, and I know that's what my husband wanted, that's what Armin wanted, but I like the smoother fastness of this car. I prefer it in sport mode, and that's probably one thing that I don't like, is that it automatically defaults to custom mode every time you turn the car on.
Comfort or custom?
Comfort.
Oh, it defaults to comfort. That's
it defaults to comfort mode. I like it in sport mode. The seats kind of hug me a little bit more in sport mode. I like the way it feels.
The bolsters.
Yes. So as you adjust the modes when you adjust the modes, the seat kind of adjusts as well. And so I just like the way it feels, and I like the way the car, sounds in it. There's lots of Audis on the road.
Everywhere.
I don't know that I see a lot of
Mercedes.
RS3s on the road, but I do see a lot of Audis
rare.
on the road.
Yeah.
And I like that this car kind of turns heads a little bit. People don't know what it is. Some people ask. Some people who know what it is immediately, want to race me on the road. I don't know. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone on car color. I know that's such a girl thing, but I love the color of the car. I think it also makes it stand out a little bit more on the road, more than the black ones and the gray ones that I've seen on the road. I think that this one stands out a little bit more. So that's just my preference. I'm not knocking anyone who has it in gray and black and white, because I did look at all those colors and I did think that they looked really good, but I ended up going with the blue.
It took you 45 minutes to pick a color.
Not really. It was, well,
really
it only took me 45 minutes to go between black and blue, because they didn't have the white with the sport package. Imagine how much longer it would have taken me if they had that one too.
They had the Siberian Ice there.
I didn't like the Siberian Ice. I like that it has the older lights, the older grille. And when I say older, if you know anything about this car, you know that they are changing the lights, they're changing the grille, they're obviously changing the infotainment screen, or the interior some. We looked at those, and while I think that looks wonderful on the G80 and the G80 and the G90, I just think it makes this car look like a little boring. I think that those lights and that grille make this car look a little less mean and intense.
One things I don't like about the 2022 is the big Genesis word on the back.
Oh,
that's so weird.
A few other things that I like about the car that I haven't mentioned yet are there's a really nice lane assist feature. I kind of have it on the standard lane assist, but you can have it on a more aggressive setting, or you can just have it to where it beeps if you kind of veer in and out of lanes. Yeah. It's kind of neat. If you veer a little too far to one side, you can feel it slowly correcting you to the center of the lane. When I first felt it, I was a little like, whoa, what was that? And then as I started to get used to it, I was like, this is pretty cool. You know what I mean? It's just kind of interesting. Not that I don't stay in the center of the lane regularly, but it's kind of a neat little feature, and I like it. Like I said, I haven't had it on the more aggressive setting. I think my husband had the car pretty much driving itself on the beltway in cruise control. How was that, babe?
Smart cruise control is pretty wild. The car can drive itself pretty much. You put it in cruise. You can adjust the following distance with the car in front of you, and if you are in stop and go traffic, which is really wild, it'll actually stop the car. And when the traffic starts to move, you can move with it. You tap on the gas, and it'll continue the cruise control, and it'll literally drive for you, stop and go.
One other thing that I like is the 360-degree camera. I know a lot of cars have that, but I do like the 360-degree camera or view that it gives me, because not only am I seeing that I'm going into the space properly, I can also see if I'm in the space properly from a kind of a bird's eye viewpoint. So that's kind of neat. So the rear seating is interesting, and we have 2 children, and they're not little anymore, although they're not big yet. You know, they're in between. When they're in the back seat, I want them to be comfortable. So one thing that's really nice about this passenger seat is that there's a nice little feature where if my son is a little too cramped back there, he can actually, of course, ask the person that's sitting in the front seat, but he can actually adjust it right here on the side. Forward, he can adjust the whole seat up, or he can adjust the back of the seat up a little bit if he wants. But getting out is interesting. I don't think they've ever really noticed it as kids, but when I get out of the back seat, the way the wheel well kind of is right there, it kind of, for me, I gotta squirm a little bit to get out. And I know Armin noticed that too. It's just a little bit more cramped on getting out. Again, kids don't seem bothered by it. Just something I noticed as an adult.
Overall, you like your decision? You happy with your decision?
Oh yeah, very much.
Awesome.
And now that we have, some things that we wanted to get done right after we got the car done, I'll be driving it a little bit more. For the most part, yeah, I'm very happy with the purchase. Everyone always asks me what it is, and they always think it's pretty. So that's cool. So yeah.
As the saying goes, a happy wife is a happy life. I must say, this Genesis G70 is impressive. I'm excited to see how this car will do for us over the long term. Not to mention how to make it just a little faster. Can we say cold air intake, spark plugs upgrade, and a tune? Those modifications alone will raise the performance level that matches my modified SS. Maybe even better than that. We'll see. Honestly though, the car is perfect in stock form. This is a real sleeper, guys. Thanks again to Genesis of Bowie for a great buying experience. Now, if you want to check one out yourself, be sure to visit your local Hyundai dealer or go to their website. One day soon, I hope to see Genesis with their own stores for the complete buying experience. Until then, thanks for watching. Leave a comment below, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.